As part of our DNS series, let's talk about DKIM and SPF. And don't worry, I'm going to show you how it works exactly, step by step. The DKIM and SPF records have to be entered manually by the owner of a domain into the name server of the person who sold them that domain. So for me, CyberIrishman.com, I have to go to GoDaddy and manually enter these DKIM and SPF details into the DNS records on the name servers of GoDaddy. Those details then get propagated out to the world so anybody can see them. What we're interested in here is under the TXT, the text records, and I'm going to enter my SPF details and my DKIM details. For instance, under SPF, I'm going to say, hey, include anything from Zoho.com. If an email comes to you and it purports to come from CyberIrishman.com, when we look at the chain of servers that email has gone through to get to its destination, the very first server it should have left from should be one of the Zoho servers. That is our SPF. DKIM, inside DKIM, there is a public key that I have got from Zoho, my email provider. And I've entered this public key into the DNS records of my DNS entry at GoDaddy. I've just copied and pasted it in there. And this is the public key of the Zoho server that my email should leave from. Remember, our zone transfer records. This is what I get when I do a zone transfer, something like this. These are called the zone records. And under the text section, we have the SPF and we have the DKIM public key details that I, the owner of this domain, for instance, everreadyguides.com, I've gone to my registrar and entered that detail into my DNS records. So let's look at an email. This email has been received by Andrew at secureninja.com. It was sent by Andrew at cyberirishman.com. It has got to the secureninja.com email server. It's been delivered. And what happens is the secureninja.com's email server, in this case it's run by Microsoft 365, they look at the headers. They also know it's coming from cyberirishman.com. So it does a DKIM and an SPF check. It goes to the DNS records of cyberirishman.com and it pulls down the DKIM and the SPF data and carries out its checks. And if the checks are good, the email is considered good and it's not marked as spam. So let's see in more detail how it all actually works. I have Andrew at cyberirishman.com and I have the receiver of an email, tom@gmail.com. Now for all this to work, I'm going to have to start and upload my SPF and DKIM details to my server. In this case, GoDaddy is the owner of my domain. So I'm going to go and I'm going to grab Zoho's public key. That's available to me because I have a Zoho email account. My email is handled by Zoho. I go into my account, I go to administration and I find the public key. And I'm going to go to the GoDaddy server and I'm going to upload that information to my DNS records. I'm going to put the SPF in. Hey, if you're going to get an email from me, it should come from a Zoho server. And if it's signed, it should have this public key. This public key should be able to decrypt the signature. Now what happens next is propagated out to the rest of the DNS system, including dns.google.com and all the other DNS servers on the internet. So they all have a copy of that record. But we remember from DNS, the source of authority is going to be one of the GoDaddy servers. It's going to be the top dog in the domain chain for cyberirishman.com. So next, Andrew's going to go ahead and create an email. And it gets sent to the Zoho mail server for being sent onto the rest of the internet. And as it's leaving the server, it gets a digital signature. Zoho's private key is added and it creates a digital signature for that piece of email. And we have a signed piece of email that gets sent to its destination server, in this case the Gmail server. Now the Gmail server has received the email, it's signed, It's going to Tom at Gmail, and it's from Andrew at CyberIrishman.com, and it takes a look at the headers. And it sees that the first server that email left from, because every email server in the chain has to stamp a header. And it says the first server I left from was mail1.zoho.com, one of the email servers at Zoho. So now the receiving server does its spam checks. It goes to any DNS server. It's using dns.google.com and goes ahead and looks at the CyberIrishman records and goes and pulls down the public key for Zoho that's in the DKIM records and pulls down the SPF information as well that says it should come from zoho.com. Pulls it down. I have the public key. Gmail server applies the public key it got from the DNS records to that digital signature. And if it decrypts okay and it looks good, we have a okay with the DKIM. It worked. It was properly signed. Looks like it came from a Zoho server. Well, then it goes and checks what is the first server it left from. And if that matches what's in the DNS records, that is an SPF check. This email is considered not spam. So just to show you those headers in a little bit more detail, here's the headers from the email I showed you earlier. And these are the actual headers, and it's telling me DKIM is a pass. And it's also telling me the SPF is a pass as well. And these are the headers in the email that the receiving email server is actually looking at. And you can see SPF, it came from this IP address. And when they've checked on that IP address, it belongs to Zoho. And here is the public key that we applied to the digital signature. And if it showed that it was good, it's good. And that's how SPF and DKIM actually work. Awesome, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that little lecture. All content is copyright off the CyberIrishman. If you're interested in cybersecurity hacking or AI training, go ahead and visit cyberirishman.com and we'll set up a call. And if you're interested in more videos like this in cybersecurity or AI content, if you're interested in my travel vlogs, I travel to Vietnam, Singapore, Thailand, China, many trips to Japan. Those are all on my YouTube channel as well as digital nomad content. If you're interested in living in another country and working as a digital nomad, I go to these countries and I talk to recruiters and digital nomads and talk to them about their experiences and also the skills that are needed in those countries if you're interested in emigrating to those countries. Go ahead and find me on YouTube at CyberIrishman, and if you like the content, please like and subscribe, and even leave a comment. If there's something you want me to explain for your exam, go ahead and leave it in the comments and I'll do my best to make a video for you. Anyway, guys, I'm the CyberIrishman. Thanks so much for joining me. Hopefully I see you again soon.